pros and cons of being a dump truck driver. Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy. So in order to actually be a dump truck driver, you have to know what a dump truck actually is. So right over here, this is a dump truck. A dump truck is exactly what it sounds like. It dumps things. So that back of that truck right over there is actually going to be able to lift up and dump everything out there, which means that this piece of equipment right here is mostly used in the construction field. So most of the time you're going to be transporting things like rocks, dirt, sand, even things like salt for the snow and things like that. And that's what that's transported for. Now there's many different forms of a dump truck and they can be pretty expensive, especially if you're buying them brand new. The two main forms of dump trucks are going to be triaxle dump trucks and double axle dump trucks. And a triaxle just means it has more wheels in the back, just like you see here. The double axle has less wheels. Now the more wheels you have on a vehicle, that means the more it's legally able to carry inside of the actual truck itself. And these things can carry a whole lot of weight, especially the more wheels that they actually do have. So now that you know what an actual dump truck looks like, we're going to be going through the pros and cons of what it's like to actually be a dump truck driver. Maybe it's the right path for you, but if it's not, no worries. One of the cool things about getting your CDL license is there's so many different options out there that you can use your CDL for. You can definitely find something that fits your needs the best. So let's get right into it. The first pro of being a dump truck driver is you only need a CDL Class B license to operate one of these things. So in order to get a CDL Class B license, it's the same exact process as getting a CDL Class A, but you don't have to worry about the trailer. So let's define a few things. A CDL Class B means you're driving a vehicle that can carry more than 26,000 pounds and does not have a trailer. Or if it does have a small trailer, it has to weigh less than 10,000 pounds. So since a dump truck is only one vehicle, it's a single vehicle, it can carry more than 26,000 pounds and it does not have a trailer on it, you only need a CDL Class B. So in order to get a CDL Class B is a two-step process. Step number one, you have to get a CDL Class B permit, which means pass the general knowledge written exams. Then you're also going to have to pass the air brake written exam as well. From there, you're going to have to take a whole road test. Now the road test is going to be split into three different parts. First part is going to be inspecting the truck. There you're going to have to inspect both the inside and outside of the vehicle. Second part is going to be parking the truck 6 different ways. Third part is actually going to be driving the truck on the road itself. Now, if you're a student here at Driving Academy and you want to get a CDL Class B, you're going to have one of two options. You're either going to be driving in a bus, which we highly recommend because all we're going to do is add one extra written test to you, which is going to be the passenger endorsement, and the road test is exactly the same. That way you're going to have a higher Class B license because you have more flexibility. In case you don't want to drive a dump truck, you can always go and drive a bus as well. Or if you don't want to do the passenger side, no big deal. You can just take a normal Class B truck by itself. It's not going to be a specific dump truck. All our job is to help you get that CDL license. That being said, the first pro, it's going to be a lot easier because all you need is a CDL Class B. If you did want to upgrade later, you would have to go through the whole road test again to get your Class A, and it's a whole different skill set. Learning how to back up a tractor trailer, completely different than learning how to back up a dump truck or a Class B truck itself. The next pro is going to be local work, right? So one of the biggest things that a lot of people fear when it comes to trucking is going to be, hey, if I become a truck driver, I have to travel the country and I'll never see my family. Well, with dump truck, because of the nature of the actual work itself, you're only going to be driving within the local region, which means you're going to go to a quarry or something like that. You're going to then drop it off at point B, and then you're going to be home within a 24-hour period. Dump trucks don't have beds in the back of them, so they're not designed to go long distances at all. They're designed to come home every single day, and that's the case. Now, which brings us to another one, which is going to be the pay. So getting a CDL license in general is going to help you out with pay, right? And becoming a dump truck driver is a great way to actually get paid a lot, and most of the time you're going to get paid by the hour, simply because it's a local job, which means if you get stuck in traffic, you're getting paid to wait around. And on average, starting off, you're talking 25 to 30 bucks an hour when it comes to actual dump truck driving. Now, of course, when you have more experience and you start working for a company very long and you have no accents, of course, that's going to go up from there. And those bigger construction companies actually wind up paying a whole lot more, especially if you go to like prevailing wage type of job, right? A union shop or anything like that. We have to actually do highways and things where dump trucks are definitely required and recommended. Cool pro about being a dump truck driver is actually going to be the skill set that you're going to learn from it. So yes, it's going to be easier than driving a tractor trailer, but you're going to have to increase your skill set when it comes to picking these loads up and dropping them off, because you're mostly going to be doing at job sites or quarries. So that means you're going to be going on roads that are not roads to pick it up. So for instance, say you're going down a quarry that's super tall and you have to go down this mountain that they carved the road out of just so they can fill up the dump truck, get the dirt out, and you're going to go to some type of construction site to empty out the dirt itself. You don't want to get stuck and you're going to be super heavy. So understanding where to drive, where not to drive, how to unload without anything going wrong is going to be difficult. But if you master it, you will be successful and your skill level will improve dramatically. These things are super expensive. That's going to be one of the cons that we're going to be talking about, but you definitely don't want to mess any of these things up. Alright, so let's talk about the actual cons. One of the biggest cons I see about being a dump truck driver, especially in the Northeast, is going to be the lack of job security. What do I mean by that? We already talked about what are you transporting. Most of the time it's going to be dirt. And what happens when the dirt freezes? There's no construction happening, which means dump truck drivers are not working. So if you're in a place where it actually freezes in the wintertime, you're probably not going to have a job all year round. So that's going to be an issue for you. Unless you're one of those lucky ones that actually have those contracts that can actually plow snow with the dump trucks. That's a great way. But even then, you're only going to have to wait until the snow actually happens. So you want to make sure that you're using that CDL license for multiple things than just that. But if you like taking winters off, maybe this is the best option for you. Another con that a lot of dump truck drivers actually face is going to be they're limited on the type of work that they can actually haul. So like we already talked about, it's going to be limited to like rocks, sand, and like salt. It's very difficult to load a whole load of like furniture into a dump truck. It's just not designed for that, which means if that industry drops, you're pretty much stuck with that itself. Which brings us to the next con, which is how much money an actual dump truck costs. An actual dump truck will cost more than an average tractor trailer itself, simply because of how heavy duty it's built. There's all these hydraulics, these frames are like double framed itself, and everything is built extra heavy duty for dump trucks simply because these are the workhorses of the trucking world. They have to do things that most trucks cannot do. That being said, the cost to actually start your own dump truck company up is super high in comparison to all the limitations that you're going to have. Now, if you have a big construction company and you're making money on the jobs itself, it might make sense to actually have a few dump trucks on your own fleet so you don't have to sub it out to anybody. But if you're a purely only dump truck company, it's going to be difficult to actually get work, especially if you don't have any connections, because even when it comes to load boards, you're so limited on the amount of work that you can actually do. Now, let's say that you just want to be a dump truck driver. Now, yes, we did talk about it being local work, but when it comes to the hours are not going to be a 9 to 5 at all times. There's going to be some days where it's going to be super easy. There's going to be some days where you're going to have to be like a 12-hour day, 14-hour day, depending on the job site that's going on. I'm sure you've all seen those big jobs done on highways where those dump truck drivers are just waiting there to get loaded with asphalt, and then they can bring it back to the plant and vice versa. So all of those things do come into account. There's going to be pros and cons to everything in life. Those are the main pros and cons to becoming a dump truck driver. Now, if you feel like there's too many cons for you in particular, then maybe getting a CDL Class A license is going to help you out with all that. Because with your CDL Class A, you're still able to drive Class B vehicles like this dump truck, but you have so many more options, which means maybe you want to be a dump truck driver in the actual summertime because you like driving, and in the wintertime, you can just hop into an actual tractor trailer when there's no more dump truck work. So it gives you all the flexibility that you do need. So at the end of the day, our mission is to help 1 million people get on the road to freedom, and in order to get free, you need options, and that's why we recommend getting a CDL Class A license from the start, because it's going to give you all the options in the world, especially in the CDL world. That being said, if you want more information, make sure you check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com. Again, cdldrivingacademy.com. Thanks. Have a great day.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.